Hello, I'm Steve. Thanks for visiting the Patio Heat channel, where we provide visual concepts of infrared heating as well as tips for ideal patio comfort. Check out our patioheat.com website for sales and more information. Please tap that like button if you find this video useful, as it helps others find our channel. Now let's get heating. All right, here we have this residential application. So this is in a colder climate. It's in, you can see it's a screened-in room. We also have a sliding door back here, and then we have some doors that swing into the resident itself. We do have a section of the screened-in porch that goes into the room itself, so we do have to be concerned about that. We also have this fireplace here, and we have some lighting fixtures up here, as well as a fan in the center of the room itself. Let's go ahead and look at the overall dimensions. We have 17.1 by 18 foot depth here. We have a ceiling height of the apex up here at 10'3". We have the bottom edge of the eave at approximately 8'6", and then this section here, I'll call it a block at 7'6". Let's see if there's anything else that we want to talk about. The fireplace itself was about 5'7", and I think that's about it. Now you can see with this 8'6" section here, if you follow it all the way inside the room here to this edge here, you can see that the doorway is a little bit just below that. So that being about 8 foot off the floor, possibly. Not quite sure what the true dimension of that is. I do have this at about 12 foot wide section. So that might come into play here a little bit. I'm not quite sure of that at this point. So the other thing is the client did mention that they did not want any heaters on the ceiling itself, and also they did not want a heater on the back side of this edge over here, because this faces out of the property into the garden section there. Now you can see that I did place one there, but we'll talk about that in a minute. They do have a fireplace that puts out quite a bit of heat. I think they said somewhere in the 40 to 50,000 BTU range. So that's something that they'll have to make a decision based on that output. They preferred the heaters to be placed on this wall and possibly this wall, I think, or maybe this wall over here. So we'll just talk about that also in a minute. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take off the dimensions, as well as I'm going to take off the screen, because it's just easier to maneuver through this model. And first thing I'm going to just talk about is the placement of the heater. So this is in the center of the room here. Now what I did do is place the heater so that its clearance above is at its 6-inch clearance, and that is what is described in the owner's manual installation instructions. So actually this is the C model. I want to talk about that in a second here. But so this is the SlimLine model, and you can see here that it says for wall mount here, 6 inches from the ceiling. So that's one thing here. And if we go into the C model, this is the C instruction, you can see here that it states that it needs 12 inches from the ceiling when using the C wall, or excuse me, the C model mounted on the wall itself. So that's something that I had to take into consideration based on how much room we actually physically had up there. So that's why I'm using the C model, or sorry, the SlimLine model. This is a 4,000 watt 240 volt unit. Now you can see that this heater here versus this heater over here are in two different elevations. And so basically what I did here is just made sure that we were meeting at 6 inches over here as well as over here. Okay, let me go back here. And let's see if there's anything else I wanted to talk about. So one of the reasons I did not place a unit over here is I couldn't see the practicality of placing a unit in front of the fireplace here unless we could place it on the ceiling, and that's not one of their options. So that's why I didn't choose to place it on this fixture here or the fireplace itself. I just thought that would look kind of odd. Also, there was not enough room to place any units between this wall and this edge here, and also having the doorway that swings in. Same thing over here. This area here, I couldn't see how to place any unit here. There's just not enough room to meet the clearances to this edge over here, so there's no way I could make that recommendation. The only thing I could do is place a heater back here. Again, I placed it, it's centrally located on the wall, so if you went right to the center of this span right here, that is where the heater is located. And I again just came down 6 inches from the ceiling with that slope, so that we meet the clearances. You can go on a wall mount from out straight out 60 degrees down, and still use the OEM brackets that come with the heater. You don't need the extension piece to go to make this clearance over here any further. So just bear that in mind. Same is true with that. All right, let me go back to turn this off for a second, and let's just go ahead and look at the footprint of heat. Now, I guess I should mention that, you know, this heater here, the only way I can assure that this one section of the patio is warmer, in fact, let me just take off the top here so we can kind of take a look at this orientation. But the only way I can get this side of the patio warm is by placing something here. Otherwise, they'll just have to use or rely upon the fireplace to make this area here comfortable if they choose not to use something like this. But this will give us an idea of the footprint of heat for the overall space. And let's go ahead and check that out real quick. So you can see with this wall mount over here, we're capturing this whole left section here, you know, minus a couple of probably like 4 feet here and 4 feet over here. And then also it comes all the way out to about where the center of the room is located approximately. So I think that would be good for this left side here. And then of course we have this unit over here, and you can see that it, you know, comes out about 8 feet out and is covering this side here. And then also if you look over here with this unit on the outside edge where they don't want it, that would heat up this section on the left side here. So that's kind of why I'm making that recommendation, even though that's probably something they really do not want. Now let's go ahead and just take a look at what that might look like with the you know, with the this looking out from the resident itself. So this is looking out from the doorway there, and I'm going to turn off that ray for a second. So I don't think that's going to look too bad personally. And these are the slimmer units too. The C model is a little bit wider. These are about 5 inches in dimension. So from this edge here down to this edge here is 5 inches. On the C model it's 8 inches. So I think that would look okay in my opinion, but that's again up to them. Throw that screen in section again so we can take a look at that. But I think that would be how you could actually get the best heat within those parameters of not attaching it to the ceiling itself, and based on the fact that this fireplace is here. So, all right, well, I hope this has helped. If you're looking for some assistance with your outdoor heating application and you would like us to review your plans, please send your information into designs@patioheat.com. I'm Steve, and again, please tap that like button. We do not advertise. We're not monetized with YouTube. Therefore, they will not promote our channel unless we receive your thumbs up. And we thank you so much for that. Have a great day.